CEIL over the past 7 years has really developed into a hands-on training program supporting young people across career interests by giving them the chance to take solid first steps into their careers and helping them in the process.
The things he's showing us is really important to employers. So the fact that I could see it in action made me think, right, this is something really important.
CEIL, when I first got into it, I thought it was just going to help me on an employability level, just like, oh, you're improving your CV, what to say on a CV, but it's actually been so much more than that, and I feel that I've improved so much as a person as well as a professional with the help of CEIL.
We have a standalone CEIL method of employability training. Some things developed organically, such as the accreditation system, which was at the request of employers. And some things were unforeseen, such as employers using CEIL as a place to recruit from directly.
It's a very business-orientated environment, which is good, but if you're kind of a more practical learner, you can speak to Marcel and Wanda, and they'll give you other things to do, which are more suited to your interests.
So we went to Atlas Electronic, and so they're a naval facility, and they told us, they basically just, when they said how they recruit people, they just said exactly what Marcel says. The interview is really important. It's not just what's on paper, like your grades, it's how you present yourself. It does show that we're on the right track.
Yeah, using CEIL is a great advantage. When I bring in youngsters, I want them to have a little bit of experience of a working environment, and I think the CEIL initiative really gives them some sort of experience in that kind of environment.
So it works very well for us, and I think over the last 7 years we've had 6 or 7 of our members of staff coming through the CEIL programme from Budmouth College.
CEIL was always a method of employability training and always intended to address needs of employers through a hands-on approach. Purely a training model resulting in readily employable young people with a heightened sense of professional awareness.
Yeah, I do think it's 50-50. For me, I need youngsters to come in, join the company and know what a working environment is like. CEIL gives it, that gives them the insight of that kind of environment. But it also helps the youngsters to go out and find other jobs.
In industry, we can say this is what we need, but it's the students that need to respond to that, to say, here I am, I've got those skills, employ me.
I started CEIL September 2013, and that was when I started my A-levels, and I was here for the full 2 years, my A-levels.
Once again, the CEIL offered support for the interview. We'd had interview techniques for the Samuel Miko scholarship. We had, just setting up all of these practice interviews. So without them, I don't think I would have had a chance.
By looking across all disciplines, all fields, and encouraging students into those engineering disciplines and the associated disciplines that go with it. It's not just about the engineering for us. That builds those foundations for what our company needs.
This has resulted in employers recruiting directly from CEIL pretty much across a range of sectors, and is something that in truth is a really encouraging development. It just happened that employers became attracted to CEIL's robust employability rating benchmark of accreditation, and this effectively presents a pool of candidates for recruitment for them, irrespective of whether they are going straight into work, apprenticeship for example, or going to university. The bottom line is that employers want to have access to accredited CEIL interns or students for recruiting, and the CEIL model works to a benchmark that employers understand. So in effect, they know what they are getting.
Students come up to the CEIL from year 7 all the way up to year 13, but it's our older students who perhaps use it the most often, particularly in year 11, 12 and 13. That gives those students the opportunity to mix with employers, to look at what internships are available and on offer, and actually to start building their CV ready for the world of work or for university.
This is the Red Zone. This is where we create. This is where the idea is born. It's not just the staff over in the Centre of Excellence having time to work with the students, but it's this professional environment that they work in which inspires the students as well. So far we're discovering what the Centre of Excellence is, I would suggest, and in a very positive way. It certainly seems like an area where there's huge opportunity to extend the students at the top end, but then also encourage the students in the middle, which is the group that I'm most interested in reaching, to get those group engaged in activities that go beyond the classroom. And now we're beginning to see the evidence for that. So we have more students that we're able to track into worthwhile employment and worthwhile courses, whereas in previous years we had our fingers crossed and maybe guess where they went and hoped that they went to places that would be suitable for them.
Having the model base itself on managed experiential learning through what I would call old-fashioned training, actually, with a modern-day technological twist, became an attractive proposition to organisations, so much so that many of them choose to sponsor the centre as part of the commitment towards its continued development.
I'm involved indirectly with CEIL. We've currently, a previous interview with Matt, who was one of the first candidates through CEIL, and we now have Bradley, who is a current intern scholar at Magicard through the CEIL programme.
Just things like answering the phone, you wouldn't think that's difficult, but as a nervous teenager, I hated answering the phone. Now I talk to people all over the world in our offices, and I just think just general business sense of knowing how to handle yourself in a business environment.
CEIL has been perfect, a perfect opportunity for our Year 12s, because they spent some weeks working on a programme that was set up to include everybody. They all came up in small groups and worked on things, CV, writing, identifying their skill set, looking ahead at career opportunities, thinking about how they were going to develop their skills to move into the career that might be of interest to them.
It has led to the creation of the CEIL Employers Advisory Board, which meets in July, and advises on programme development. So this ensures that it remains in touch with changes in employment recruitment, interview models and approaches, and that kind of thing. So through the CEIL Employers Advisory Board, CEIL is in fact accountable to employers across business and industry sectors.
From day one, when we first interviewed them, you could see that their enthusiasm and the way they presented themselves, and they knew what a working environment was for, and this programme gives them that experience.
To us, it's a real quality way to invest our money, to see the whole process the students go through, from doing an application, sitting through an interview, going to visit a prospective placement, having their placement and reporting back through the placement to the trust, and then at the end doing a presentation in front of the people that have hosted them, their parents and the trustees. So it's a whole experience. It's not just about the old traditional sort of work experience where you go out for a week and make the tea and file the paperwork.
That truly meets the needs of employers, and it's worth mentioning that this is very real evidence of Budmouth College's commitment to preparing our students both with academic rigour as well as professional development and industry contact, and this potentially setting up our students in some cases for life. And this is why CEIL is different from other initiatives. It embraces training for a practical purpose in its truest form. And it provides first career steps opportunities in the process, so successful participants do actually leave us being able to do the job.
CEIL makes me feel much more confident, in regards to future work, because I just feel like I've experienced a lot of what's going to come.
CEIL is in fact accountable to employers across business and industry sectors to maintain its cutting-edge impact on bridging the gap between education and employment in a tangible and practical way.
I've taken kind of some of the ideas that have been introduced into CEIL and I've dropped them down into lower school because I'm the Director of Careers, and we think that having a kind of overall view of how we're trying to develop our students is really helpful, so that they kind of understand some of the basic principles of CEIL before they arrive. Something like RNLI, who were in the other day, they've got 900 staff at Poole. If you ask a student maybe in Year 7, they think, well, they're lifesavers, aren't they? But they don't think about all the other things that they might do.
I mean, we get given like tasks to do to like better ourselves. So we have like our own personal background, so our strengths and our weaknesses, and try and like refine them to a working environment.
Perhaps CEIL's motto explains it best, I think. Artem spectat molitiam ostia prospera, which means skill, resilience and determination open doors to success.
I do feel the CEIL should be expanded to other schools and colleges because I don't really know what I'd have done without it.
This is what sets them apart. And to use Benjamin Franklin's quote, really, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn.
If I were to sum up the CEIL experience in one sentence, I'd say it's been a massive advantage to me.
If I could sum up CEIL in one word, that word would be, it's necessary.
If I was to sum up CEIL in one word, it would be groundbreaking.
If I could sum CEIL up in one word, that word would be opportunity.
I'd like to sum up CEIL in one word, and that would be important, probably.
If I were to sum up CEIL in one word, it's fantastic. It's a great bridge to life.
It's innovative and it's unique, a unique asset that's very worth having.
The CEIL helps develop the key skills that industry is looking for.
If I was to sum CEIL up in one word, it would be preparation.
If I were to sum up CEIL in one word, I would say resilience, because it has made me a resilient person, able to overcome any challenge that I face.
Without being an ex-student of the CEIL, I don't think that I would have the job that I have now, so I have a lot to thank them for.
To sum the CEIL up in one word, that is opportunity.
This is what CEIL does. It involves students to get them to be practical, and that is what it's all about.